Hi everybody. It's been a while since I've made a video. Lots of stuff has been happening. My mom ended up in the emergency room. We ended up having to cancel a cruise we were supposed to go on, which to be honest ended up being totally fine because I wasn't 100% sold on the cruise as a motion sick person. My sister ended up in the emergency room. Life has just been lifing, right? And from a nervous system regulation point of view, things have been insane, right? But I also feel like the more that I have been leaning into my daily self-care things, the easier regulation seems to be coming for me. And I know that seems pretty simplistic and oh yeah, all we have to do is just do these daily things and it gets better. You know, it's not that. And what I will say is that everything that happens, everything that comes up brings up stuff. So, someone's in the emergency room. It makes you go back to a time where maybe they were sick before, or maybe you were sick before, or my mom is 74 now. And what is life going to look like now? And is she going to be sick? And what does this mean? And it brings about all this uncertainty, right? But what I will say is that out of those hospital stays, out of those things that have happened, there's been clarity. So my mom now has some clarity about what we need to do diet wise, and she now has someone overseeing all of her medications from, she had a couple different medications from a couple different doctors, and not everything interacts well. Not everything is good for what she needs it for. And now we have one person that's overseeing everything and is really going to get everything nice and under control. Awesome. We needed that. We didn't need the hospital stay, but if that's what it takes, then we're coming out of this in a better position than we went in. With my sister, she's been dealing with something for a few years now. Again, something that was hopefully should have been resolved by now, but isn't. This situation happened. She ended up in the emergency room, and now she has people that are 100% focused on helping her resolve this issue, which she absolutely needed. So out of all of it, and within those hospital stays till now, my mom has great insurance. But if you don't have insurance, if you don't have good insurance, if you don't have blah, 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 you're missing work. You're laying in a hospital room going, holy shit, now I have hospital bills and I had to miss work and like all these things, right? Hospital visits, people who are coming to visit. It's a lot, right? But it's okay for it to be a lot. I think, I tend to be really hard on myself, and I get into these modes where I'm like, you have to be strong for everyone, and you're the one that's here and doing these things, and there's no point in freaking out, and there's no point in, just put your head down and get shit done. I learned that from my very strong mom. At the same time, though, putting your head down and just keeping moving forward sometimes isn't always the right answer. So I think for me, here's a couple things that have been working out for me. While I've been driving back and forth to the emergency rooms or back and forth to certain appointments, if I feel overwhelmed and want to cry, I cry. If I feel overwhelmed and want to scream at the top of my lungs, I scream at the top of my lungs. If I want to listen to raging music, or if I want to listen to very calm music, or I just want to be in silence, I'm really trying to honor those things, allow them to move through. And honestly, after I have a good cry or a good scream, I go, okay, cool. Now I can, get back to doing what I need to do. Because the fact of the matter is, I love taking care of my family. I love, I'm not happy that they have not been feeling good, but I'm happy that I can step up and that I can be there for them, that I can help with meal prepping or laundry, or I don't know, any of those things. I feel like I love taking care of the people around me. So I have to negate, the stress. There is stress there too, no matter how much I love it. And re-examining things that have come up for me over these past few months, I have not regretted it. Every single thing that's come up and I've gone, man, how am I back here having these same thoughts again? Even just having that awareness now changes the situation. And you know what? It's also okay to not be the bigger person sometimes. I think that's the other thing that has been coming up a lot too, is sometimes I'm going to be irritated. Sometimes I'm going to look at a doctor and go, what the fuck? Sometimes I'm going to go, I don't understand why this is happening, and maybe I'm going to be a little irrational. I feel like all of that is just a part of everything. All of it is welcome. And so just trying to feel really okay in all of that energy. But again, also having to do, and not having to, but relying on my daily self-care stuff. So meditation, sometimes it's just watching a certain show on TV. There's a couple shows that I watch that I absolutely love. They make me feel happy. So I make sure that I watch them. There is a playlist that I've created that has some carefully curated music on it for the morning time. I have been going onto YouTube and just watching people's bird feeders, which I know sounds so friggin' crazy, but there's no sound. It's snowy. There's cardinals and all these birds, and they hop up to this camera. They eat out of this bird feeder. I don't know. There's something super relaxing about watching birds in a freaking bird feeder. So I think for me, when I'm feeling overwhelmed or when I'm feeling stuck, I do those things. Take a walk, sit with my sister's cat and just chill out and just, talk to Jackie a little bit. Whatever it takes, are things that I do now. I'm not too busy for self-care anymore, and I'm not willing to put it aside anymore because I am too busy doing other things. I have had to make myself a priority in all of this as well. And that's not always easy when you feel like you're having to take care of people in a certain capacity. But, self-care and self-allowance. It is okay to get in your car and go, man, I hate that person, and just be mad about it. Because listen, we don't like everyone. And for anybody who says, oh, I love everyone, okay, good for you, but I don't think that's genuine. I think that there are people that we struggle with, and we don't have to hate them, but sometimes I get in the car and I'm like, man, that person pushes my buttons and makes me feel like I want to punch someone, which doesn't happen to me too often, but when it does, listen, I take that all the way. I'm in the car just, and then as soon as it's out and done, I'm like, okay, great. I feel better about that. So I invite you to come up with 1 or 2 self-care practices that you can start bringing into your everyday life. Journaling, gratitude, affirmations, watching a bird feeder, stretching, sitting in silence, whatever it is. Honor those things and really pay attention to how different you feel when you really make yourself a priority. And I will say that I'm doing some other things. I just started neurofeedback on Tuesday. I'm going twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, to do some neurofeedback sessions. Really looking forward to how that works out. I'm creating courses. I'm going to be launching my group sound training certification in April. So I'm doing work. Even work is self-care for me, to be honest. I love creating programs, and I love the prospect of teaching people something really cool that could change their lives. And so, that's self-care for me too. But, just really being mindful and intentional about everything that I'm doing every day. And it makes a huge difference. So if you want to comment on this video about some self-care things that you're doing, I would love to hear it. We can always pass those things along. And I hope you all are doing well. And, I'll chat at you later.